Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Mage power leveling video here in our series 8 to 60. So in this video we're going to be doing Armory and Cathedral. So typically when I do Armory and Cathedral, I'll charge 2.5 gold per dungeon if you're a mage or a healer, 3 gold if you're anything else. So the entire reset, which is Armory and Cathedral, is going to be 5 gold or 6 gold depending on what your class is. So you're going to be making 60 gold an hour minimum with the lowest paid people in your group, and higher obviously if you have a completely dead group, but it's never going to be a full group of people paying 6 gold each because you need a healer and you need a mage, at least one. So I recommend getting a 34 healer, should be fine, and a 36 mage, and the mage is just there for Blizzard, improved Permafrost, just so you can keep your pulls big and the mobs aren't going to be one-shotting you because they're going to be too slowed while you AoE them down. So when I do these runs, you always want to kill these two mobs first because sometimes the people you carry, the minimum level is 21, so if they walk in, they're going to be getting hit. So I always just kill those and then have everyone stand over there. So we're going to get our little timer here going and we're going to start the pull. So I always pull back to the group for every dungeon that I do. So what you want to do is you just want to loop around. I don't know if it's possible to do this entire dungeon in one pull. I'm not sure how you would go to the end of the dungeon with all those mobs on you and then pull this courtyard. I just can't see how the timings would work, so I've never tried it. I'm not going to say it can't be done, but I've never tried it. And the whole point of the runs is efficiency, and if that's something that's going to wipe me constantly, then I don't want to do it. So you're going to pull everything back, you're going to Nova, you're going to start casting your Shatter, and then you're going to spam a macro that lets everyone know that if they want, they can start Blizzarding, Rain of Firing, whatever, healing, all that stuff. I let them know at the start that not to heal me when I'm blocked, not to heal me anytime until I spam that macro, because if they start getting aggro, especially when I have the pull grouped or something like that, or I'm in a block and they get aggro, it's going to be a wipe. So to prevent any of that from happening, we just tell them that. Now, in this next room, this next pull is going to be the rest of the dungeon. They're all going to be standing here. If you're 21 or lower or something like that, I block at the front of the room, so you're maybe going to want to stand somewhere back in there, just to avoid aggroing when I block. But for everyone else, they can stand there, and that'll get them in range to AoE, Blizzard, Rain of Fire, heal, whatever they want to do. So we are now going to run to the end of the dungeon. Now, the main thing, and I'm going to make a video just for the gear, talking about that, the enchants and all that stuff, but the gear is nothing special on this character. I'm sure people have significantly better gear than I do, but I'm just showing that it's possible to do it in like not even pre-raid bis, it's like pre-PvP bis. You're going to want to save Blink for that pack right there, and the rest you can just run by. But like I was saying, the main thing you need for all of these pulls and everything is movement speed to boots. Otherwise, you're just going to take way too much damage because they're too quick and you're probably going to end up dying. So we're going to run to the end here. We're going to rebarrier and fire ward, and we are going to start the tagging. So we're going to wand that. We're going to walk pretty far past these rank 1 arcane explosion. It has a huge range, so we'll be able to tag everything. This guy's going to be a fire blast here. Get as far away from these as possible. Or arcane explosioning. If you get a clear casting, you can just max rank it. Your first barrier should last until here, depending on their crits and stuff, and then you want to rebarrier here. And that barrier, again, depending on their crits, should last until you get into your ice block. Now, the reason I haven't used counterspell to pull any packs is because you're going to need it for right here. Counterspell him at the other side of the room, and we will blink back. So we're going to be blocking right behind this pillar here. We're going to wait for them to get as close as possible. We're going to block. We are going to be S-key backpedaling out of the block. I don't know if it does something to leeway, but I don't know, I just prefer doing it. I don't get one shot as often versus if I were to say strafe out or something like that. And we are just going to keep going back and forth. Make sure to keep your distance, just so your healer doesn't have to really heal as much. He's more there for spells on Cathedral than anything. And these mages are things you want to be keeping alive right here. Obviously I want to have aggro on them because the entirety of the pull they're casting on you. Every 1 second you're resisting a spell from them, you're getting almost 300 mana back. So it makes the pull significantly easier, and that is from this talent right here, Magic Absorption, which gives you 5% of your total mana back with a 1 second cooldown. So that is the big talent for any of these dungeons, especially in SM where the mobs start having a pretty good amount of health. So that was Armory. In about 4.5 minutes, they're all going to loot, so it's going to take longer. And then we will make our way to Cathedral. Cathedral is going to be about twice as long. Unfortunately, the way we're pulling, we're not going to be able to pull Cathedral all in one pull. Maybe there's a way to do with Blizzard or something like that, but it's also going to force a block. And in order for me to clear the chapel pull, which is the boss pull at the end and all the mobs, I need block to already be up because I need to shatter twice, which means I'll need snap. So we're going to come in Cathedral here. We're going to stop the timer and reset it. Everyone is going to make their way over to Cat. I think I'm still getting loot from Cat or Armory. Yeah, so everyone's going to make their way here, and then we're going to get started. So I always like to keep Amplify Magic up for these dungeons. Most of the spells that are hitting you, you're going to resist, so it doesn't matter about the extra damage you're going to be taking when one finally does hit you. More so, it's for the healer. Gives them a pretty good amount of healing to help you out, especially if you get a lower healer like 26 or something like that. You can still do it. So this pull is going to be the exact same in terms of clearing the mobs at the start. The reason is because some of these mobs are a bit lower, so you want to get them out of the way. Just in case you bring people that are like level 21 or something like that, this mob will run out and you might as well just clear the hallway. Plus it gives them some space to stand. Alright, he's here. So now we can get this pull started. So we'll just run down the hallway here. What I like doing is I like pulling this, CSing. Typically it's one sorcerer, so you'll be able to pull them back. And you want to pull them back to about here and kill them. The reason I just like doing that is because if I kill them at the door, then the lower people are going to want to loot them. They're going to run up and loot, and the pats that are walking by on the outside are just going to aggro to them and kill them. So to prevent that, we just pull back and kill everything here. Just like that. So where I'm drinking right now, this is where everyone else is going to be standing, and I'm going to pull back to them right here, and we're going to kill them at the front of the door. I've done this place I don't even know how many times. Like I said, when you're selling the runs, the gold per hour is insane, especially considering you can charge way more per run than I do. I see a lot of people charge way more. Sometimes they're warriors charging a bunch. I'm not sure why. The runs can't be good, so it's definitely not worth the gold. But I see people willing to pay 5 gold per dungeon. So I guess if you get lucky with those people in your group, then you're going to be making a ton of money. But even charging 2.5 gold per dungeon, which is 5 gold to reset, you're going to be making 60 gold an hour. And then if you have, say, enchanting or something like that, you can reserve the Cathedral boss blues after everyone has what they need, and you can shard those. And at least on my server, the shards go for 2.5 gold each, so you can make an extra 15 gold an hour just doing that, because you're going to get, let's say, a conservative time on the runs. You're going to be completing both these dungeons in at least 20 minutes, if not much quicker. So you'll be getting 60 to 75 gold per hour just for that if you charge the bare minimum. So that is the first pull. We're just going to AoE them down. And our mana is still good just because of the talent. We had a bunch of mages casting on me here, so we don't need to mana ruby or anything. So this pat, sometimes you're going to get the entire room, sometimes you're not. It just depends when you pull them and what their path is, I guess, when you pull them. So if it takes too long to pull this side and I'm here and this guy's already walking this way, then by the time I get here, he's going to be over here and it's not worth running over to try and get him and dying. So you just kill him after, and then everyone else is still looting, and then they're going to make their way over. I completely forgot the timer, but I guess we'll just start the timer now. Since this is about half the run, this is about 2 pulls. We should only be about 2 or 3 minutes in. I guess if you're watching the video, you can just rewind back to the start of the run just to see what the in-game timer said, but I'm pretty sure we're only about 2 or 3 minutes in. Typically, this only takes about 9 minutes to do, with Armory being 5, so a little extra time for looting, so say 10 minutes, 15 minutes total. So this next pull, you're going to have everyone stay here, a little bit further back if they're 21, just because there's a patrol that comes down the stairs there, and you don't want them to aggro it while you're doing your pull up here. This pull could be kind of annoying depending on how many Myrmidons you have. Everything, all these melee guys that enrage and all that stuff, they make this pull quite annoying. It's probably one of the only pulls you can die on, especially considering the slow. So you're just going to gather them all up here, Nova them all, rebarrier, and you're just going to wait. The reason you're going to wait is you want the Nova to end, and you want them to path behind you this way. If too many of them run this way, which they are right now, we're going to have to waste Blink and come down here. So 2 things are bad right now. I don't have my barrier timing, so we're just going to try and stall here, bring them around the wall. Alright, so that worked out fine. So if you mess up the pull like that, you can just stall a tiny bit and salvage it just by making them path a different way, and then grouping them all up for the no. So that is that pull there, and lastly will be the chapel pull. So the chapel pull consists of another block. You're going to need snap for it, and like I said, you're going to need at least one 36 mage in your group with slow. Other than that, you honestly don't need anyone else AoEing. 36 with Blizz is more than enough damage and slow to kill them all on top of your damage. They're mainly there for the slow and to conserve your mana, basically. Let's say you have much better gear, maybe a whole bunch of tier 1, tier 2, and you do maybe like 350 spell damage or something, 2900 health. You most likely don't need another mage. What you're probably going to want to end up doing at that point is having someone else pay you more for their slot, and then buying limited invulnerability potions. And then when you do this pull, after you shatter, snap, shatter, if you're getting low, you can just pop a limited invulnerability and just stand in the middle of them and just AoE them down. So this is the last pull. You're going to have them stand on this ledge here. If they're lower level, you're going to want them to stand way back. Again, this is a block pull, and if they're too low, as soon as you block, they're going to pull the boss and everything, and that's not something you want at all. You're just going to rebarrier up and everything. Let them know that you're going to pull. And then you're going to wand the boss. You're going to wait a second until they start running, and then you're going to blink in between them all. So that ensures that none of them are going to be attacking you on the way out. And you're just going to sit here. Again, we're going to be S-keying out of our block just to prevent the leeway. So here we go. We're going to block. All these mobs spam their kicks and abilities into you even if you're not casting. So I like to wait until you're about 3 seconds left on your block before I back out. So So we're gonna double shatter there. We're gonna let everyone know they can heal in AoE. We're gonna stay as far away from the mobs as possible while being in arcane explosion range. And that's just so we don't get randomly one shot and so our healer doesn't have to go crazy trying to keep us alive. And that is the run of SM. So what you're gonna want to do is, this is just to save a bit of time. You can just bring Morgraine basically to here or at the bottom of the well. And then you are going to kill him here. And then you're going to evo. So what killing him here does is when a white main is running out, you're going to kill her at the front and get her pretty low. And ideally, what's going to happen is she's going to get low, she's going to sleep you low, and by the time she runs over to try and res, she'll get her res off, the sleep will be over, you'll blink over, you'll do the rest of the damage to her and kill her before he gets his lay on hands. Okay, so this is unfortunate. I crit there. She still has 50%. There's pretty much no way we're going to get the kill off on her. So we can try. See if we get it off. Most likely we will. Yeah, not enough damage. Typically she'll be a little lower and then you'll be able to get the kill off after she reses, and then that's just one less person you'll have to kill. But yeah, that's the run. Let's just say the beginning was like 2 or 3 minutes. It's probably a 9-minute run normally when I do it, but I'd have to check the time. Unfortunately, I forgot to start the timer at the beginning of the dungeon, so yeah, that is what it is. But hopefully you all enjoyed. Good luck in all your power leveling if you're leveling alts, or for the mages who asked me when I was leveling alts for my pathing. These videos are for you guys, so hopefully you find them informative. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching, and if you guys want, I'm probably going to end the series here. So the next video in the series would be 44 to 52 in Zul'Farrak, but because there's a million gold farming videos and there's only one pull in the instance and it's done the same by everyone, it's kind of redundant to make a video on it. But if people do want to see it, I will make the video. If you're a mage and you're 44, you're going to want to do the graveyard solo. There's a video someone else made, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well, but you're going to be getting 130k an hour doing ZF solo. And then 52 to 60, you would just do BRD escort farming. Can't speak. But yeah, you just do the escort farm, same thing if you're a healer, and then for everyone else, you're just gonna buy carry runs or quest or do any of that stuff. 44 to 52, and then 52 to 60, you get run through BRD, or you can quest or any of that stuff. It's whatever you prefer. The BRD runs are kind of annoying, and you rely on your group to do a lot more than, say, Graveyard, where they don't do anything, or this where they just cast a blizzard or something like that. So if you want the videos, I'll make them. If not, thanks again for watching. If there's something you didn't like, let me know so I can improve on it in the future if I do happen to make other videos, or if you guys have any other ideas or questions, just let me know. Any other relevant information, like all my character names and stuff, I will put it in the description as well. So if you want to PM me in game with a question or something like that, you can do so too. So thanks again for watching.